I don't get it. Why? I don't get it. Am I weird? Nobody wants to talk to me? It's because of my red hair. I'm the group ginger. Nobody wants me on? I don't get it. I don't get it. One of the Six Packs and Racks guys hacked into my Google account, my calendar, and is intentionally scheduling these podcasts when they know I can't be there. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I bought this sweet headset. I bought enough Busch Light to kill a Shetland pony just so I could podcast with my bros, and here I am just sitting in the wings watching them all laugh, have a good time. This is bogus. That's what it is, and I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. They're not gonna get away with this. I just need to stop drinking coffee.
All right, man. I'm here with Dylan and Scott. We're gonna kick off last call segment. Just a little something extra we're putting together while the other guys are off doing their own thing. We got a chance to hop on here and make Dylan feel involved, kind of rub his balls just a little bit. And,
it just feels good to finally be loved, you know?
Excellent. Well, man, last time we got together, we just started off with an opening session of BS, just talking about who we are, what we're up to, what we've been doing lately. JP talked about sturgeon fishing a little bit. So what have you been into that's been keeping you away from our company?
This is kind of everybody's scheduling when I'm busy. That's the thing. Somebody hacked my Google account. No, this is kind of my busy time of year as far as office time. So I mean, you can imagine throughout the fall, a lot of my time is spent in the woods trying to catalog and get as much footage as possible with the guys. And now is kind of when that all gets organized, put together, and hopefully used for, we do turkey hunting mini series and then the breaking point later and just other client work. This is kind of our time to try and get ahead on, whether that's, just editing, that sort of thing, or kind of getting ahead in the budget. So trying to, bust my ass to get as much done this time of year as possible. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Basically just trying to fit as much work in a week as I can. And this is my off season to kind of hang with my wife as well. But it turns into being a lot busier with work than an off season. I kind of advertise it like, I'm going to be busy in the fall, but, in the winter I'll be slow. And I'm not. So it's kind of that time of year where I'm in my office a lot working. It's a disaster in here. I still haven't even cleaned up from the fall. So it's just like always hitting the ground running, it seems like. But I'm definitely looking forward to getting caught up on things and getting into spring mode where it's back into turkey hunting. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to right now is man, I can't wait till that kicks off and everything thaws out and birds start chirping and gobbling and we get to go after them.
You guys keep talking about this Wisconsin trip you guys are going to do. And I haven't heard an invite yet. I must have lost it in the mail somewhere.
I thought we all talked about this. This must have been the same night that we picked Thursday nights for podcast nights.
We did. We did talk about that actually. But then on the pod.
I think are you guys coming up turkey hunting?
I am, yeah.
I think it's 5th season, dude. Come on up. Let's go. Catfish and beer drinking.
What month is it?
That's May, so that would be, I don't have a calendar in front of me, but it's got to be I
think it's the 14th.
Oh shit! That's my bachelor party weekend. That would be a good bachelor party weekend.
Yeah, I'm at the Strut Zone, dude.
Honestly, I should tell them to switch.
That's where I had my bachelor party. So
you're gonna be strutting around somewhere. Might as well be at the Strut Zone.
That's right. Come strut at the Strut.
We literally just picked the dates today for that. We started the group text for the bachelor party.
Nice. What's the plan?
That weekend. Dude, they want to go to Nashville.
Oof. That sounds like a commitment. Are you good in cities like that?
What's that?
I guess I've seen you in Louisville and Indy, but I mean on a bigger scale, are you going to be all right? Are they going to be looking for you at the end of the night?
Well, they'll be looking for me. I'll be like Doug from the movie Hangover.
Oh yeah. Check the roof.
It's probably going to be one of those trips.
Do yourself a favor and before you go, get one of those. Go to a vet clinic and get a microchip in your ass so that they can GPS you if you do have to wander on.
Oh shoot!
That's
Just in case I end up on the roof
hmm
on a mattress, right?
That's very, very smart.
Well, after that segment in our first episode, we transitioned into it kind of bled into what we'll call hitting the scrape, which is our version of a roll call, which
Okay.
is just which is the who you are and what you've
Sure.
been up to, where you're at, whatever.
Yeah.
Our opening session generally will just be, we'll probably record like right away when we get started and use some of that, like we did tonight. The outtakes of not being able to get into focus and whatever.
Yep.
Use some of that just to mess around with. So we just kind of covered hitting the scrape, but our third segment we have is send it or save it, and that's probably going to be a pretty regular one. And that's just where you probably remember, where we just pick a topic or a product or a method. And our segment this week was early shed hunting, getting out shed hunting this time of year. Is that something you get into, or are you busy with other projects?
I don't know if you guys know, but I can't stand shed hunting. It's not that I can't stand it. I just don't get into it. And everybody just assumes that I'd be into it because I like whitetails and whitetail hunting. But I just don't get into it. For me, like I said, this is like just as busy, if not busier than any other time of year. And just to be walking in the woods looking for antlers that I wouldn't even recognize doesn't make sense to me. I really enjoy when people find sheds and build history with deer that they know and have on their properties and that sort of thing. But like out in public looking for sheds, like that's just not for me. I don't get the infatuation with antlers. I don't understand. If it's not a deer you don't know, I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this, but it's just not my thing.
Well, that's good.
Early shed hunting, late shed hunting. That's a send it.
All of the above.
Yeah, I'm out. It's a no for me.
That's a save it. You're not going to send the shot. You're going to save it for another
Okay,
opportunity.
I'm gonna save it. Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. I wasn't quite grasping the sentence.
No, that's all good. Yeah, that's something we'll need to work on moving forward. We'll need to clarify a little bit on what those are, I think.
Got it.
Because I send out the email ahead of time, but then we received some questions, or I did at least, from the first episode that were like, why do you shed hunt? What is that? What's the point?
Yep.
So it's good to have a perspective of somebody who doesn't get into it, because I'm with you. I mean, I'm going to get into it a little bit this year, but it's not something other than like out west riding in the back of a truck and seeing the mule deer sheds from the road when you're riding in the back. That's pretty much the extent of my shed hunting.
Right.
I've found some sheds turkey hunting in the past, and it always feels like score, bonus, but it's not something I've ever really set aside time for. Of course, it's hard to find the time anyway, but that's a good perspective, because I think there are a lot of people out there that'll relate to that. We're going to have a lot of listeners that are working 60-hour weeks. So
definitely
getting out to shed hunt's probably on the back burner for a lot of people.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
For sure.
Not everybody's an antler nerd like Scott.
That's my lifetime shed
I bought these.
Did you buy those from Brennan?
Yeah. Hook me up, B. Did you do any shroom hunting?
I have in the past. I need to make more time for it because I absolutely love morels, and
they're good.
Around here, there's a ton of them, so that usually happens on turkey hunts as well, where we're out there and then happen upon them, and it just turns into a mushroom hunt. Where it's like, there's been several times where we don't have any bags or anything, and we ended up filling up like the turkey decoy. They're like, fill that up and fill your hat up. But absolutely love mushrooms for sure.
Yeah,
they are good.
Yeah, me too, man. That's something I did a lot of when I was younger. I lived in Michigan, and they're easier to find. They're all over there. Yep. We get them here in patches, and like some years they'll be pretty plentiful, but some years you won't find any.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird down here. But now, like when we were up turkey hunting before at the strut zone, you guys mentioned that you never find any around there.
See, that's a different area. Where we are there, it's a very different soil type. So I think that they just don't really happen in that area unless there's like a very rare instance. We actually had them growing in my college house, like yard behind the garbage cans up there. But I think it's because there was enough sand and gravel. Other than that, it's all just like super mucky silt where I don't think it's the right soil type for them.
Yeah, I think
soil type definitely matters.
Yeah.
Sandy soil is key for sure. And then that's part of the reason I think we don't get a lot of them here is it's all red clay. But it's weird because there's no sand here, but we do get years where you'll find a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Trees make a difference.
Yeah.
Dead elms.
Elms and apples, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Apple trees. Yep.
No, it's interesting. I love, like, just thinking about it gets me fired up because it's just that time of year being in the woods is so awesome. When everything's kind of greening up. And
shit, it's going to be March before we know it. At the end of March is when everything's coming. Turkey, shrooms, sheds.
It's a leap year.
Fishing.
It is a leap year.
Oh, it is. Yeah, we got an extra day.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. How are you guys going to spend it?
Where am I? I'm going to be gone, I think. What's the day today?
Full 24 hours extra this year, boys.
I'm going to party like it's
next weekend, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to party like it's February 29.
That's right.
All right, man. Well, that will conclude our Send It or Save It with a little bit of extra chatter in there, which is a good thing. Next, we will do blood trails, which is what we refer to as basically our version of what are your goals. You know, everybody's got goals, obviously, short-term goals that'll keep them fresh every week instead of talking about the same thing. Like, I want to kill an elk, you know. So what are your short-term goals in the coming week that you're hoping to get done? And we call that blood trails because when you're on a blood trail, you know where you want to end up, but what are you doing in the meantime to make sure that you do everything you can to end up there?
Leave no leaf unturned, right?
That's right.
So I feel like mine's going to be a little bit boring just because I've got a lot on my plate right now as far as, projects. I'm working on that sort of thing. But we're working on Breaking Spring right now, which is like our turkey hunting mini series. And I really want to get that. I have 2 episodes are my responsibility to have done. And that's kind of my thing that it's like looking ahead. I can't wait to get into those, kind of see what I'm working with, get creative, put those together, and try and put together some badass stories with that. And that's going to be within the next week. So it's, to me, that's what I'm looking forward to, is getting in there and trying to make something of it.
Sounds good, man. Now, what you consider boring, a lot of people probably don't. Like, maybe the behind the scenes aspect is boring to you, or boring to talk about, you think, but
yeah.
What do you, I know you do a lot of side work or whatever you call it with other companies and other people, like Jeff Sturgis, are you working on stuff with him still right now?
Yeah, so Jeff keeps me really busy. He's definitely like top client as far as outside work goes. I put together 4 videos a week for his YouTube, and that eats up a lot of my time because I'm usually meeting with him at least once a week to film, and then from there I'm editing. So every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, he's putting out a brand new video. They're usually between, I would say 7 is a very short end, 30 is kind of on the longer end, and you can imagine doing 4 of those a week. That's pretty time consuming. It's a lot of fun to kind of have a different topic each time and pull from my bank of footage to put those together, but that definitely keeps me really busy. And I'm thankful for that work, and having that kind of on my plate definitely keeps the wheels turning. So
cool, man. Anybody else you working with?
Yeah, right now, I mean, it's kind of it's always changing, right? Like this line of work, it's kind of clients come and clients go. And right now I'm working with Outdoor Life Field and Stream doing like their Expo series. If you guys are familiar with what used to be called the Deer and Turkey Expos in different states, they're now owned by Outdoor Life Field and Stream, and they're running those. So I got involved, luckily, got contacted to basically help advertise those and cover them. So I'm actually going to each one of those this year to basically run and gun edit and put out videos for their social media as the day is going on. I actually got to see Josh in Paducah, Kentucky for the first one, which was a surprise treat. Never heard of Paducah, Kentucky. Got to go there, and the boy came out and saw his other boy, and was nice. It was fun. And
It's
so
a
that's
metropolis.
yeah, it was actually it's a cool spot. I had fun. It's so that's another one that's keeping me busy right now. But other than that, right now I don't have a ton going on that client end side. As far as like big projects, I mean, we're always doing, small pieces for our partners and that sort of thing. So there's some of that going on as well. But right now, those are my bigger ones.
Cool, man. Now, I know that the Breaking Point is currently actively searching for a new pair of homies.
That's
So,
right.
can you talk at all about how that's going? You guys getting some applicants?
Yeah, so we've gotten a few applicants. I'm a little surprised that more people aren't throwing their hat in the ring, but I feel like the last week is when they're all going to pour in, because I've heard from a few people that are like, yeah, I'm definitely going to put in. And, we've gotten some applications, but we haven't gotten the video side of things. And to me, the video side is where that's what's going to separate the men from the boys, I think,
Right.
where it's like, it's only has to be a 60-second video, but trying to impress someone in 60 seconds isn't an easy task. So to me, I'm pretty jacked to see what rolls in for that. And, I don't know. I'm just looking forward to hopefully finding a pair of guys that, are as focused and driven as, we're looking for, and as we are, and as we were when we were a bit younger and could go and do, as much as possible throughout the fall. So like that, just looking to hopefully find some guys that, share the passion, I guess, and
So,
want to go new places.
if you don't mind, I got a question.
Yeah, what you got?
So for that video, are you looking for like an edited video or a video of them kind of introducing themselves,
We
or is
left
it
it
in the
wide
air?
open. It's
Yeah,
wide
cool.
open. 60
Good
seconds
deal.
is the only thing we said. So, I mean, it could be a selfie video of a guy telling us about why they're the greatest and why they'd be a good asset with their buddy.
Hmm.
But I mean, I guess my personal hope, just because I like filming and I like the editing side of things, I'm really hoping somebody kind of puts together something that's gonna stand out, where it's like, damn, that took a little bit of thought, that took a little bit of time. They definitely, went the extra mile. That to me, I think is what's really gonna help separate it. But
You want somebody already on your guys' level.
no, that's not at all what I'm thinking, and I don't think we're on a very high level. I just think I want to have somebody with that like mindset that wants to produce something higher level, and that's I think is what makes our show cool, is because we always want to be a higher level. Like we always, we started looking up to bigger shows, and I feel like I still do that. Where it's like, man, I just want to be like them. I still want to edit like them, and I hope that guys watch our stuff and think that too. So I just want to find some guys that want to be better.
I think
like
you're
that.
getting to the point where you are the bigger show.
I don't know. I guess I don't really I don't see it that way. Like it doesn't feel like that. Everybody,
I'd say so.
we're definitely noticed more, but it still doesn't feel like we're a big show. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. Keeps us hungry, I guess.
I
Yeah.
definitely look up to you guys as far as editing and watching what you guys do.
I appreciate
guys-
that.
You guys have influenced me to want to do better.
Right
So,
on. Right on. That's what I think is so cool about like just the video side of the industry, is in the photography side as well, is everything's so open and you can see everybody's work, that everybody compares themselves to everybody else. And I think that's good to a certain point, but it's also kind of streaming everybody to go the same way, where everything kind of looks the same. So when you see something that looks different, it definitely sticks out. So I think that's the people that stick out now are the ones that do things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
different. Yep, I agree.
Yeah, that's what turned me on to what you guys do originally. It just was refreshing,
Right on.
everything. A lot of the big time shows that are airing on like cable TV are all so very similar, and they're not as focused on the story as they
Yeah.
are the end product.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything's about how big the buck is.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
that's a good point.
cool. Like everybody's all about shooting giant bucks, but
Yeah.
you guys one of the best films I've ever watched was one that you guys made where you just kill a bunch of does, and I thought it was
Okay.
one of the coolest hunting shows I've seen. Just
Really?
the yeah, the videography and stuff, the slow mo, the catching the
bad.
arrow flight. You know, it was
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about.
yeah. The
I
attention to
went down with my
details.
Brennan, and I was so jacked up for that hunt. We actually bought that camera on the way down there to be able to do that high speed shooting. I was like, I just want to do that. They just called Best Buy in Des Moines and picked up a camera on the way. Like, I want to do that. That was pretty
I
sweet.
will say, like, with turkey season coming up every year, well, for the last 2 years, I've been watching you. And I always watch your guys' turkey videos because those get me amped. Same with whitetail.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
here, the next couple weeks, I'm going to be racking up your guys' minutes again.
That sounds
Watching
good.
old footage, this year's footage.
This is a different year because, I mean, in the past, Breaking Spring has kind of been my thing. Like, I've done all the editing for probably the last 4 seasons of it.
Mhm.
And this year, I just knew I was going to be bogged down, and Mike offered to help. So he's actually doing like more of it than I am even. And it's almost kind of strange, like handing that off, like, all right, like this isn't just mine anymore. You know, it's different. It's like, but he already has his 2 episodes done, and we got to pre-screen them, and they're damn good. So it's like, all right, this is awesome. Like, it's nice to collaborate, and as long as it keeps on the same track, it's like, why not share? Let's go, dude. To me, that's pretty sweet. That, you know, that's our editing styles are different, but at the end of the day, it's comes together to make something that's pretty cool. So,
Mhm.
and it's not as much of a stress for me then either. So that's definitely a plus.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, you guys
Now
are
you
all
mentioned,
talented, so.
yeah. Well, I don't know about
Thanks,
JP. Jury's still out on him. You mentioned during the off season is a good time for you to catch up on some brownie points with the wife. So, what special place are you taking her?
So it's unfortunately we aren't doing anything crazy, but that is why I'm missing tomorrow night's podcast. We're going out to like a fancy dinner, but
That's
I had
nice.
planned before this podcast was scheduled for Friday, so
Sure.
it was like, I can't really.
Good
Friday
on
was
ya.
kind of like a last minute. We
Yeah.
decided that Monday.
Oh yeah,
We just
yeah,
kind of wanted to get a bunch of podcasts done. That
for
way,
sure.
if like there were a week where none of us could get on, we kind of had a few in reserve or whatever.
Oh yeah, no,
You
I
know,
think
so
that's
like,
a great plan.
yeah, so definitely not trying to keep you out. That's for
No, I
sure.
get it. No, I get it 100%, man.
I'm sure we'll have a lot of spontaneous episodes like
Yeah,
this. Like, I think this will be a
yep.
good episode because we heard a lot about, it's basically, this show is pretty much about you,
Yeah.
so, um,
It's all about you.
We call
well,
it the sticky minute.
That's awesome.
oh, shoot.
Oh yeah. No, this is great, boys. I'm really looking forward to see where this goes. I really hope people actually want to listen to us.
I am very surprised on the turnout.
Yeah, I think
We've
it's going
been,
good.
It makes sense. I think like everybody knows everybody, so it's kind of like,
Mhm.
why wouldn't I, tune in for that? I guess it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
But it's a different kind of podcast. Like, we don't
yeah,
sit in a studio with
yeah,
the best audio, you know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just people can relate to it. I've never seen a podcast do this, like on a regular basis.
We must be the cutting edge. This is it. This is the tip of the sword.
I mean,
Yeah, seems like, well, there's at least that one guy that commented. I don't know. Somebody you guys probably know that
Some
said
guy
that.
was like, hell yeah.
said
Yeah,
what?
well, he said that he thought it was a new and like a different idea and
Yeah.
refreshing
I'm looking forward to
take or
like
whatever.
getting on with everybody and like getting some of those hot topics covered where we can get everybody's opinions on it, and I'm sure there'll be some yelling and swearing, and that'll be fun.
Yeah,
Get the hot
yeah,
take.
I think people will enjoy, us bullshitting, but I think they'll also enjoy like the different kind of guests that we have as well.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Because
Definitely.
that's what we'll try to do is kind of make it a little bit different than the
For
average.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
yeah. I think
Good
we're all
thing.
going to get more comfortable, or me personally, at least. Every time we get on a call like this, I get a little more comfortable, a little more
Oh, yeah.
relaxed. Make it's a little more second nature than scrambling to try and figure out where I'm
Everyone-
going to shoot this in my house.
And everyone starts out that way.
Yeah.
You always see anybody do anything progress the more they do it. It's not like they
Yep.
start out just like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
That's- I
go to
just mean
my
I'm a-
YouTube page, go to
Yeah,
anybody else's YouTube page, and you can see a dramatic increase of quality.
I'm
Oh, yeah.
excited. I'm excited to watch that happen. Is what I mean. Like I
Mhm.
know it's
Oh, yeah.
happening. You know, we're just gonna get
Oh,
better.
yeah. This is just the
Definitely.
beginning.
Love it.
Well, we actually do close out every show with a segment that we call "Cracking Cold Ones," where we just
All right.
crack a fresh one. Cheers to the week ahead.
Let me
Cheers
finish
to-
this one first.
Cheers to
Embarrassed by
everybody.
Rob and grab a new one?
I don't
This-
even
this-
have any.
I drank
I don't
my-
even have any beer. You don't have to be embarrassed.
I will drink one for you.
I appreciate that. Crack two and do them both.
Steve, yeah, stone cold that shit. Oh my god, that hurts my teeth to watch.
I can just see that flowing down your chest like a river.
Oh yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, listening, and watching. We appreciate you guys, and thank you boys for joining in on the call and hanging out and spending a few minutes together to catch up. Look forward to next week. Here's to us.
Hell yeah, boys.
Yippee!
Mm.
Yeah, boys.